And so it has ended. An era that, as fleetingly as it began, as fleeting as it always was, ends fleetingly. Fleetingly. That word probably doesn't make any sense there, but Paul Pogba, a man who always felt like a mirage, has decided to end his career with a combination of stupidity and flair, which is really a wonderful combination for Paul Pogba. Now, I have long defended Pogba. I thought he's one of the best midfielders in the world for a long time. The dude's a World Cup champion and clearly has some of the best talent of any player that has played the midfield position in a long time, but he was always crippled by, inconsistency, and he clearly has his eyes on his life after football, which I don't blame a guy for that at all, but this just feels like an appropriate end. Because if you didn't get one of the 37 push notifications I got when I woke up this morning, Paul Pogba has been banned for 4 years for doping. He's been banned for 4 years. That's a long time when you're 30 and you barely play anyways, right? When you are already a glorified assistant manager and then you get a 4-year suspension, if that's not reversed or adjusted or reduced, he may never play again. Right, and that's fine. He'll go start popping up in Paris fashion shows, and he's got a very lucrative and exciting life after the game. But yeah, I get the feeling. Sorry, I just woke up, a little congested, clearing out the sinuses by talking about Paul Pogba because it's a spicy topic. You get it? That's okay. I feel like he's already done all of the things he wanted to do. Paul Pogba, to me, felt like for a long time. I mean, I'm sure part of him loved the game, right? And I always defended his ability, right? He was very clearly one of the best midfielders in the world for a while. He just needed to be in the right type of system. He needed to have the right type of person managing him. He was not somebody that would get along with everybody. Some people just aren't. And it always felt like the game was a vehicle for him to achieve what he wanted to achieve in life. And to be fair, he did achieve it. Right, but this isn't Andres Iniesta. He's not going to play until he's 46 years old and his legs start falling off just for the love of the game. Right, Paul Pogba's got plans past this. So at 30, I would not be surprised if after this suspension, my dude never played again. I would not be surprised. Now, of course, he insists that he didn't do it. Because what actually happened was they did the random drug tests or whatever. And so it was like August 20th was when this happened. If you're wondering why you haven't heard about Paul Pogba in a while, he's been suspended conditionally for a while they did their full investigation on the B sample, because they take multiple samples at every drug test. So the A sample from this test around this Udinese match on August 20th for Juventus, it came back positive. He was conditionally suspended pending the investigation and the testing of the B sample. And the best part is he didn't even play in the match. The best part is that the Udinese match, he did not even play because he just sat on the bench. And that's kind of what he was doing anyways. He missed the 2022 World Cup final because of a knee injury. And I don't remember if it was actually the knee injury, but he missed the World Cup final because of an injury. He was clearly physically fading, and he took testosterone. He's not just more manly than everybody else. He took extra testosterone. That's what the investigation concluded. So I can say that is a fact that has been investigated, that he took extra testosterone according to the people that actually know how to test for that stuff. I would have just insisted he is more manly than the rest of us. It takes that extra testosterone to be able to paint your hair like that. I could never do that, right? Because I don't have extra testosterone. But turns out he was faking it by taking extra testosterone. Now, if I am recalling all of the documentaries that I've watched, he might have been doing that because of the injuries. And to be perfectly honest, if he was taking extra testosterone because of the injuries, then he cared about the sport more than I thought. I mean, to be a professional footballer, you have to care about the sport a ton. I just meant that, the willingness to put your body through some stuff in order to try and recover. Because I remember in baseball's steroid epidemic, they would be taking this sort of stuff to heal from wear and tear from playing games. They're taking this stuff to be able to help their body heal. And if he's coming back from all these injuries, right, he played, I think he was off the bench in the 2 matches before the Udinese match, but he clearly wasn't where he used to be. Maybe that was bothering him and he decided to take the testosterone. But what the freaking people that are in charge of this nonsense were very clear on is that they think he took it, and they think he took it on purpose. Because 4 years is, according to everything that I've read, and I have been reading for at least 20 minutes, he got the max suspension that you can possibly get. One, his lawyers decided, let me see if I can, they rejected a plea deal that could have obviously reduced, and probably, this La Republic article says would probably, why did I highlight everything? Would probably, goodness gracious, would probably have at least halved the duration of the stoppage. So if he'd entered a plea deal and said, yeah, I did it and I'm remorseful, then he would have halved it. But also he was unable to prove, not in the plea deal, that he took it on accident, right? He insists he took it on accident. He's going to appeal it to the court, but based off the fact that he got the friggin' max suspension, right? And did absolutely nothing to prove that he took it on accident, which, like, I've lived 28 years, 28 pretty solid worldly years, right? I've been to different countries. I've eaten a lot of food. I've taken supplements, probably none of that stuff from the gas station, but who knows? Maybe someday. And I have never come across testosterone accidentally. Now, I understand. Maybe that happens to professional athletes. You're at a Dolce & Gabbana party, right? You're at the Louis Vuitton show. Somebody's like, yo, have you tried these testosterone bacon wrapped scallops? And you're like, no. What did you say was on them? Nothing. Oh, and then you eat them and you like accidentally get testosterone from that. I don't know how it works for these people. Like, what's Paul Pogba's argument that he accidentally took testosterone? Like, oh, yeah, you know, I was taking these male supplements, right? Who knew that Extends had testosterone in it? That's news to me. And then you're left with the choice between, you know, saying that you took male enhancement pills and a 4-year suspension. And I feel like for Paul Pogba's brand, he'd probably want to go with the latter. I obviously don't even know if there's testosterone in those things, but to be perfectly honest, I can't imagine a lot of other reasons in life where you would be inhaling extra testosterone to the point that it gets flagged in a test like this. And it clearly wasn't helping him heal either. But this guy hasn't played in a while. When was the last time that you felt like Paul Pogba was like actually Paul Pogba? The last time that I felt like Paul Pogba was actually Paul Pogba was like the 2018 World Cup final. The last time you looked at him and you were like, ah, yes. Maybe the Euros, right? The Euros, I felt like there was still some Paul Pogba locked in there, but it felt like that guy was just reserved for France, honestly. It really did. It felt like Paul Pogba kept it locked away and he showed up for France, and fair enough. I mean, a career in memory is a guy that won the World Cup, is one of the star players on a World Cup winning team. I mean, that is the dream for any kid growing up. So even though he's out for 4 years, we'll probably never see Paul Pogba again, because I can't see this being reduced in a dramatic way on appeal unless there's been some sort of administrative error along the way. I'll still remember Paul Pogba fondly. Testosterone or no testosterone, dude had plenty of game. And I'm going to miss, you know, him popping up with like a goal of the season candidate every year and then disappearing for 5 games and then coming back and kind of doing it again. I'm going to miss the cat and mouse game that he played with my emotions. And I'm going to miss the hair. I am going to miss the hair. And some people, you just get excited to watch. And Paul Pogba, I was always excited to watch. Whether I was tuning into a United match, a Juventus match, a France match, you were always excited to watch him play. Even if he did nothing, you knew he could do something. And most players, honestly, in the modern game, aren't like that. So, hope the testosterone was worth it. Hope he at least feels better. His body healed faster, and now he's able to actually walk on those runways and do his fashion. Also, whatever happened with his brother doing like witchcraft? Did that ever get finished? Some of these articles are talking about that stuff too, and the fact, this isn't the only trouble he's in. He's currently in the heart of an extortion case against his older brother for performing witchcraft. So I also just feel like that when Paul Pogba decides to write a memoir or make a Netflix documentary, we're going to want to watch it, because there are a lot of people, including professional footballers, that have had pretty boring lives. Paul Pogba is not one of them, but he's probably never going to play again. So this is a salute to Paul Pogba, and congrats on a solid career. Probably shouldn't have taken the testosterone. He turns 31 on March 15th, so he'll be basically 35 by the time the suspension is over if it doesn't get reduced. I mean, maybe MLS, maybe Messi's still playing. Well, Paul Pogba at Inter Miami. Let's see you guys.